Says you're live. Hello, you are live. Oh. This is a better contrast. I've got lights above me, lights in front of me, and lights in front of me. So I got 3 lights. Just like that. Anyways, for you video game people, that would be like something. I've successfully gained weight. It's called ice cream, Publix ice cream. Pretty light person. Right now I'm 179 pounds. I'm 5'8". 178 pounds. It's like, oh. No, I go to Publix. They have the Toledo scales, and you're able to weigh yourself. So, hi, my name's Neil Sandage. I live in Florida. The police, through mysteries, have asked me to pretend I'm insane, and it's not really something to pretend to be. I'm the son of 2 PhDs, and if you know anything about U.S. history, the PhD people are nuts. They're all insane. Yeah, why would you say that? You know something you're not supposed to. Because the first rule of Fight Club is nobody talks about Fight Club. And PhDs, they might figure out Fight Club really exists. Let me see if I can play this for you. Oh, right. I'm supposed to let you know that I'm wealthy and I'm above middle class. And this actually works. I believe it when I see people do this. I can afford headphones to hear myself. And actually, if you're fighting something called cognitive radar, which everyone is, like, it's not just the 320 million inside the United States. It's the 2 billion in China, the 2 billion in India, the uncountable Africans, and the uncountable South Americans. Because people at the FBI, it's strange. You and I, we're the top 99th percentile in math, the top 97 in English comp, and we're told, hey, be quiet. And then it's like, in the background, FBI has fingerprints and footprints. And the reason those fingerprints and footprints, I can put my foot up. The reason those fingerprint and footprint, those are sandals. The reason those fingerprint and footprint were originally placed in a prison is that there will be criminal employees who join each of these things and then hunt down and kill everybody, regardless of how smart they are, how pretty they are. You got to understand, we have Gregor Mendel in our church, and Gregor Mendel says anybody who's smart or pretty or athletic, it's actually pretty. First, it's anybody who's pretty, anybody who's athletic, and then everybody who's smart. I don't know why I'm having difficult. I know why I'm having. It's cognitive radar that shuffles the brain, causes stuttering and all that. Pardon me. Don't die of SARS 2019. It's confusing because like a pirate thing. It started in a bat cave. But it's actually like the same virus that's been around forever. The deal is people who get the cough, cognitive radar can hunt down and kill them. It's like, oh, I've heard a cough. Let me be my Superman radar self. Are you supposed to die? Would you like to die? I can arrange that for you. And it probably doesn't even ask people. Mostly it's been targeting old people because the goal is always to burn and destroy all smart records. It's a war on all authors. And it doesn't matter if you're a fiction or a truth author or anything. The general goal since 1820 with Lost Books of the Bible, then created the 1825 Nay, shun all Republicans and party, because the Federalist Republican is me conference was going to continue to rank and make everybody like student ranking, test scores. And we're going to have a United States that was based on how talented you are. Some people call it merit-based. I don't even know what the word merit means. And like, for real though, for real. So just give me one moment. Look at the word merit. Merit. Are you meritorious? Did you graduate with honors? Factor, condition, deserving. What is deserved? Something that entitles one to recompense. Now, in the United States, we've pledged to kill everybody who feels they're entitled. So it's like, merit, go die. You feel entitled, and we're going to kill you. And it's a strange social factor where it's like, something that is entitled. I think that entitled is spelled incorrectly. It shouldn't start with an E-N. It says E-N and then titles. Titles is not titled, not past tense. Titles. Tittles. Titillating. But it doesn't use two T's. It should use in tittles. I'm titillated. And this titillates you. That's the psychology trick of USA. Titillating. And so, in tits. Anyways, I wanted to recompense. Old Frisian, Merite, me right. Me am right. Me right. Me right. So merit is spelt wrong. It's actually me right. But somebody's like, whoever is meritorious, cut off their ability to eat. We're going to remove that E. The Pac-Man, bye-bye Pac-Man. You now must be dead, smart people. And this is really how the Cambridge people affected the Welsh and then English language. You have to understand that ever since the gun became a weapon of war in 1410 in Lithuania, the goal is continuously Moses versus Aaron. And Aaron, Moses, and Moses' goal is fuck all of you, eat all the wildlife, and everyth's free, everything's a Garden of Eden. We're just going to roam around and pillage. And Aaron's like, hey, let's stop here in the soil, and we're going to plow, we're going to worship the cow, and we're going to return back to shit that makes sense. And from about that point on in the Bible, anybody who's smart is murdered, because that's what the chaplains are after. I don't have to explain to you what the Bible says. I just have to make it sound like the positive thing. And so we put the chaplains in the military, and we put the chaplains over the president, Nixon specifically. You should listen to those conversations. Nixon's like, hey, so there are all these Aaron people over in Vietnam, and they're really awesome, great people. Jane Fonda and actors in Hollywood, all the pretty people love them. They think they're brilliant, talented, kind, wonderful people. And I was wondering, Mr. Minister, preacher, pastor, father, holy vicar, do you think we should continue murdering all of them? Because, I don't really see why we would want to murder all of them. This is Nixon on the phone with the pastor. And Nixon recorded everything for a reason. And the pastor goes, you dumb white fuck. Do you not understand that a man has got to do what a man has got to do? And that's the quote. I'm like, I wish that Nixon, when he was doing the air quotes, would quote the ministers that are telling him, there are smart people out there and you must murder all of them. For men are Moses, and Moses must kill all Aaron. And Aaron are smart people, and Moses is just like, whatever the fuck works, man. That's so these people who do the math and like live fantastic lives and make the food and do like lesson plans and everything like that. Moses over here joined a military. He formed a military. It would take a while to go through, and I would have to do separate videos on it. But Wade versus Roe, all these things are staged, and I really just want to get through studying each word. Yeah, that would actually be like my thing. Word boy. I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. Anyways, so me right, and it's like, I'm right. I know I'm right. And I'm like with you. Hell yeah, you're right. If you're right. Let me just like run that through my head. I'll run that through my head. Let me just run that over. It's kind of funny. Let me run that over. Let me just give that a little spin. Again, not words I would use. Let me give that a little spin. Everybody's like, it has to be energetic. It has to be exciting. And I'm like, I like being like boring. Everything's simple. Everything's honest. And it's like, oh, you've got to be uppity, energetic. But I'm like, what I'm on the video for is to tell you about how we're all genuinely, non-fictionally being hunted and killed. And it's on something you can see on census. I come from the countryside, and I'm worried about all the farmers, and I shouldn't even call side. I didn't add the word side. I come from the country, the rural areas, without the word side. And side is the people who call themselves country music, but country music means shoot all the pretty animals. And I was like, country is supposed to mean that you're rural and you're agricultural. And it's weird how many country people, it's like, I'm country, you don't know nothing about city slicker. Like, you ever grow anything? I grew stuff. I planted. I had a garden. I worked the garden with my own bare hands. And like actual like putting seeds in the ground and everything from pre-seed, prepping the soil and everything. It's funny that when you move to the city, I grew it from seed. But in the country, you have to till and weed, hand weed, hoe weed. I did the hoeing weed. I want to do the swowing weed. Swow is me. So cognitive radar is something owned by Defense Intelligence Agency. And Defense Intelligence Agency is an anti-prosecution division of the United States government. And the anti-prosecution division goal is to murder anybody who could prosecute them. Now, I was prevented from completing a degree, so I couldn't prosecute them. And then the police are like THX 1183, some movie by George Lucas, who's a mind control victim, whose goal is to... I'm going to get up early morning and that's my mom.
On the roof. What you did is sat and talking to yourself. Get up and work.
I'm a carpenter and electrician and a plumber. And there's a shed out here. I'm expanding the roof on 4 feet, 2 feet, 4 feet, and 2 feet. It's not 2 feet. It's 32 inches. So that would be like 2.5 foot. And 4 feet. So 4 foot, 4 foot, 32, 32. And I have to make this video to get some stuff done. And I want to do these videos today. Let me check the weather schedule. And if it's going to rain this afternoon, I will stop and I'll work right now. Now I can do the video as well. It's raining this afternoon. Because all the cognitive radar people are writers of fiction. And they don't like the smart people. It's an unfortunate thing. And I shouldn't even say it like that because it's how I feel. I have feelings too, okay? And all the smart people who start making lots of money, they tend to switch to fiction because the root word of the United States is fiction. And that means that, like, here's fiction, here's nonfiction. The root word, the origin word, is not of the fiction. Why is it not of the fiction? Because fiction, 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 fiction. Is this hand as white as that background? It's like, ooh, look, French fingernail tips. Everybody's white. Anyone who has French fingernail tips is white. Anybody who doesn't have French fingernail tips is not a white person. They're a Negro head or a melon head. I'll be a melon head. That's Latvia. I'm a melon head. Black hair, melon. Also, that's the color of ink in Greek. So it's interesting that Greek and Latvia, and then St. George in Lithuania, and then St. George having sex with all the chickens in the farm in Poland. That's really what the map says, though. And like almost no flags have any kind of characters on them because it's too difficult for a white kid to draw something. So we had to make sure everything was just like 3 colors. And in Indiana, in Perry County, where I'm from, one of the families actually got pissed and did something really bad to some property of my family because he's like, no, 4-inch is the master race. And he's like a big family, but he's a city family. And I'm like, no, 3-inch. Can't you pay attention to the flags everywhere? It's 3-inch. It's the Bible, 1 Corinthians 3. It's Ezekiel 3:4, 3-inch penis, 4-inch vagina. But all these people are so obsessed with the gun people that created slavery being the master race that they're still killing all their family members even after they've grown into a larger penis or vagina. And the target's always been 4-inch, greater than 4-inch vagina. Anybody who exceeds 4 inches is considered unfatly. And if you're unfatly, it's No, this is actually the enemy. This is the number one allele. People who are capable of reading, who are Mensa, who are honor society, who are ASME. It's like American Scientific Mechanical Engineering. People who are IEEE, which was created later. That's Institute Electricity. It's Institute Electrical. And then electron engineers. They're all radar victims, born in the 1960s. Everything in the 1960s is a victim. It's the weirdest decade in all of human history. Like, people talk about music and stuff, but the 1960s is proof of somebody working really hard to take control of every word anybody ever spoke in the country, and seeing how much of a percentage of the nation it takes to control every word that enters the media, the TV, and everything. That Twilight Zone opening about we control the horizontal, the vertical, and this and that. I should memorize it probably, or find it, because it's gone into production and out of production. Anyways, wanted to get through the definition of merit, and wanted to share with you my dad's audio recording. Use of PPP of PP, plural Pacific, past Pacific, perfect past, past perfect. Past perfect is what they usually say. I am beyond the perfect age, for I am 42 years old. 42. Anyways, that's remote control and me just trying to play along with it, called improvisation. Trust me, improvisation isn't all that. Well, it's more like, how can you be a conduit? What would be the next segue for this thing? They're like Turing monkeys that try and come up with how to complete sequences for the EEG spectrum. There's remote controlling everybody to be funny to each other. Because if everybody's funny, people pay attention, have more conversations. And falling over drunk is pretty funny. So the bottom 67% since 1867 have been hunting and killing the top 33% since 1867 or 1833. It started after the Bible of 1820, which created the 1825. Fuck all you Federalist library people. We don't need a republic of I can do this. And we don't need truth or honesty. We don't even need a conference where everybody is one. The point of a party is to end oneness. And so it's ironic that people want to hear sounds that sound like all the leaders. They call it political. Political is this, not this. It's very funny. I haven't even checked the weather. Let me check the weather. I'm checking the weather.
Don't look at anything. You work as much as you can finish today.
They need to be videos. I need to make videos all day.
No, you are not going to make any shit.
I'm not. I'm checking the weather to see what the weather is. It's good all day. There's no rain all day. Okay.
All right, jump on the roof and go and work. Go and take the
One moment.
off and put the work shirt now.
I need to finish this video. All right.
Shit.
My mom is under remote control by something called cognitive radar. It's OMAC, Brother Eye of the Batman DC Comics world, where everybody is an enemy, including yourself. Because cognitive radar does something called transcranial magnetic stimulation. And it takes control of the brains and the nerves. And there's other documentation called fusion EEG and fusion EMG, which is about uniting the signals from other people or other recorded databases with the person communicating. And it's done via radar. But not just the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association radar, called weather surveillance radar, which is the real source of it. There's also Northrop Grumman and Raytheon and Defense Intelligence Agency with their own military-based radar that augments the domestic radar and creates evidence for the domestic radar to witness and then witness against the population. But it's actually military first. It's as old as 1939 that the EMG
Get up
remote
and
control
work.
of people and
I
death
will
rays.
throw this
Death
on you.
rays.
Get
She's
up and
threatening
work.
to throw coffee on me.
Get up and work. Get up and work.
Just one moment. I'm almost done.
Get up and work.
1923 is death rays before the military radar system that could see things. Death rays could see to kill people, and so it's funny, but it's not. 1909 is the voice of God, but the voice of God has been around since the 1800s. I need to find documentation of it before Freud. Sigmund Freud talked about a voice being in his ear while he was away from his home nation or country that was telling him about the yells of a woman he loves dearly, and he would call home to talk to her after he heard the yells of women. And there's a lot of confused guys that don't understand this is the number one allele. This is what they're trying to kill everyone. And it's just the existence of eyebrows. It's not this shape. It's the simple existence of eyebrows. If you check China, if you check India, 2 billion China, 2 billion India, killed killed a billion of each. So that's 2 billion again. It's like there's your tribe of Aaron with your 4 sons, and they've killed 1 billion from each nation. And the United States is just like ho hum. We're 320 million. They're 2 billion. They're 2 billion. We're like 1/6 their size. But why should we worry? And yet, all the people that are telling China to kill all the smart people for reading more than one book in the United States have these eyebrows. And the thing is, they only have like this much penis. And so Joe Biden's behind it. Joe Biden killed Kamala Harris, killed Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein Obama couldn't get his wife pregnant. He had to do IVF, in vitro fertilization, to get her pregnant. And Kamala is childless completely. And I'll explain the whole Joe Biden thing. I was wanting to do that later. Pray nothing happens to me on the roof. I'm putting up new rafters, new trusses. And it's not a truss, it's where you build it yourself. So it's called common rafters, I think, and joists and struts and tenons. She's about to hit the computer. I'm putting my hand up to block her from hitting the computer. Love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Neil Sandage, Jacksonville, Florida. Phone number 904-525-7129. If you have any questions or concerns, please call me and talk to me. 904-525-7129. Even though Joe Biden is murdering everybody that exceeds this and has been since the 1970s, even in the 1990s, he said it in Senate on video when he created the crime bill to get rid of all white people and black people who exceed this number. The number is actually 3 for men, and the number for women is that number. So Joe Biden was actually talking about killing all the women in the United States who exceed 4 inches. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. And don't vote for Joe Biden, vote for Trump. Hell, vote for me, honestly. Write my name in. If there's enough write-ins, maybe they'll say who I am. My name is Neilsandage. Y'all have a good day.
You have to close.